Hi, Silver Rain Running Cloud here. And this video, last night into the early hours of the morning, I really did a long video and caught everybody up on what I've been going through. And later on this morning, I got a lot of signs, a lot of very powerful, dominating signs that the good guys are in control of the positions of authority. So that was good to know, because as I told you, I was worried about the police presence facing me. I'm not so worried about that anymore, and that's a very good feeling. Wow, this isn't such a good position for the camera. Well, you have to excuse me that I never have a good camera angle going on, and that I'm always adjusting my camera. But it's only because I'm not a professional at this kind of thing, and my studio is very makeshift. But I don't know about you, but today I just had a feeling that everything is going to work out. Everything is going to work out fine for me. That I'm going to be able to, experience economic success, that I'm going to be able to know prosperity, that I'm going to actually have a better life, have a chance at a better life. And it's because there were so many signs today in the community that were making me feel optimistic. So I don't know about you and how, optimistic you're feeling about your future, but I'm feeling pretty good about mine. And it's kind of a new feeling for me, especially coming off, the heart attack thing and other things. But today I actually reached out to old friends that I hadn't talked to in quite some time, because what I was going through was so bizarre that for one, some of them were calling me crazy, and they don't say that to me anymore. And I was just sort of afraid to interact because of, when you're operating from a concentration camp, a FEMA concentration camp, you're in a different kind of reality, and you don't feel a part of the world. You feel separate from the world, and you really have to get used to it. Anyway, I reviewed some of my video from last night, and I left loose ends as usual. Like I never told you that I think that Richard asked me out because he thought I was a prostitute. And when he found out I wasn't a prostitute, he didn't want to have anything to do with me. And he probably knew, that they'd be throwing me out of their little Mizell Center club. So I don't want to keep you on very long. This is just my thank you to you. Without my YouTube audience clapping back in the way that you do, I would not have been able to survive everything that I have been through. And because I've been rescued from the FEMA camp, and this is my 3rd month in recovery from that experience, and this is the first month that I really felt, the confidence to reach out to people I had blocked, people that I had stopped talking to. And they were happy to hear from me, happy to talk to me. And it felt super, super good. I also, tried to make some moves to move forward on my business, trying to see about, establishing a bank account for one of my businesses, going through the records, getting that all straightened out. So for the first time in a very long time, I felt grounded in the normal reality, right? And this is after I didn't get enough sleep last night. I didn't get enough sleep 2 nights ago, or the night or 3 nights ago either. And just got out of the hospital yesterday, but it seems so long ago. And being in the FEMA camp seems so long ago. And when I tell myself the story of what I've been through, I can't believe it myself. I can't believe it myself. But I know it's true. See, I got the scars to show it. Other signs, ways that they put a more rapid aging on me than I was experiencing, and feeling the attacks and knowing what was coming next. But I left that part off about Richard. There were other places where I left things undone. But if you've been following me on YouTube, and if you followed me before that on Twitter, and if you were really one of my staunch, you know, loyal supporters, then you were following me on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook in 2014, when I first really launched this part of my business, the public communication, the broadcasting. Anyway, I have a lot to look forward to, which is a very nice feeling. Um, and I'm reconnecting with friends. So I'm meeting my goals. And you want to know what? Today, everywhere I went today on my little errands, people were kind and nice and helpful and loving. And that made me feel so incredible, because that's what I've been praying for myself, among other things. I've been praying to get love back, to get love back. So I don't want to keep you very long, because I want to go through and be a fan to all of the YouTubers that I support and depend on to give me information. But I just feel like we are on the brink of something marvelous, something wonderful. A reality we've all been waiting for. And it's going to take some really radical moves to get everybody in a decent home. And the homes are already built, right? We don't need to make some construction company rich. And I feel like the heavy earth moving machinery that is needed in Africa and China, well, it's going to get there, because I don't see how the patent office is going to be able to survive the scandal of Sheldon L. Epstein at Northwestern University Tech, and all of the patents that he stole from the intellectual property, at Northwestern. And maybe even Henry Louis Gates and Hazel Carby of Harvard and Yale, and Brent Hayes Edwards of Columbia, and Valerie Smith, president of Swarthmore. Maybe even they will be called out for plagiarism. In an academic environment, plagiarism is about the worst thing you can do. It's the worst crime you can commit, is stealing somebody's ideas, right? But people have experienced a lot of success stealing my ideas, and made sure that I could not profit from it, because they had the greater power. So I just wanted, I don't want to go on and on and on, because you're going to have plenty of time to see my story. I'm pretty sure that I'll be producing a movie about it, in due time, because it is such a dramatic life story, and I am the survivor of it, and I am the storyteller, and I've been trained in literature. So, I'm pretty sure that you're going to hear my story more and know exactly what the price of freedom is and how close we came to losing it. I wanted to share with you some of the information about the group that has placed itself in a position to steal everyone's medical record, and the blackmail that's occurring, that says you cannot get medical treatment unless we're allowed to rob you. So the name of this organization is Freesia. Can you see that? I think you can't see that. Maybe if I dim the camera a little, you'll be able to see it. Because it's Phreesia, Freesia. And while we're all preoccupied with politics, occurring at the United States of America Corporation, while we're all consumed with that bullshit, organizations like Freesia are sneaking up to take control of all of your medical data, of the database for your medical data, which they'll be able to trade at their convenience because they are not a regulated industry, like most of the cyberspace industries. Well, I'm sorry, I can't make it any dimmer. I can't make it any dimmer than this. But if you go to Freesia, PHREESIA.com, you can see Chief Executive Officer and Board Member Chaim, CHAIM, Indig. You can see Chaim Indig. There he is, Chaim Indig. And he's the chairman of the board. You want him to have your medical records? You want him to have your DNA? I don't know him. I don't want him having my medical records. And then, we've got a lot of other people here in this, but I guess, I don't know. I think it would be better if you go and log on and see for yourself men like Smiley here. Evan Roberts, isn't he a smiley guy? There's Evan, stealing your medical records, owning your medical records. And you're so busy worrying about who the United States of America Corporation has allowed to survive their political contest that you don't even know that Balaji Gandhi is stealing your medical records. And that if you don't say, okay, Balaji, you can have my medical records, you will not get treated, will you? And then you got here, Amy Van Duyn here in Human Resources. You've got Amy. She's there hiring new people, Senior Vice President. And Yvonne Hui, the Chinese member, also working for Freesia. Like Freesia, we're going to Freesia your cells. And that's the Finance and Human Resources Department. And I took pictures really of all of these guys. Their legal department, like I said, is all women in their legal department, and the only black woman you'll see on this site. But there's one guy. The rest of them women in the legal department, ready to sue you if you make a fuss. These guys will sue you if you make a fuss, right? And then you got product. Look how many people they've hired on their staff, right? So you think this goes into your cost of the delivery of medicine? You think that when the hospital pays these people to be their record keeper, you think that the girls sitting at the front desk are going to last very long with those jobs? Or do you think that these guys are most likely to be the victors, most likely to be the ones that end up getting all the money? But let's look at the Weintraub. There's the Weintraub, and he's the head of the board of directors. We got the Weintraub there. He's the chairman of the board of directors. You want Michael Weintraub to have your medical records and be selling them and have your blood on file? You want that? How about this guy? Huh? Ooh, he looks like an assassin character in a movie. Oh, that's Cheyenne again. That's right. He's not only the CEO, but he's on the board. How about Edward Cahill here? You want Edgar Cahill here to look at his eyes? You want him to have your medical records at Freesia? You think he's going to do you right? Look at his eyes. Look at his. Does he look like a nice guy to you? And Lainey Goldstein, looking at you. She wants to go on vacation. She wants to give money to Israel to kill those Arabs. And there she is, a board member of Freesia. You want Lainey to have your medical records? You can look for yourself at Freesia, PHREESIA, where community hospitals Nonprofit hospitals, the JFK Memorial Hospital here in the Coachella Valley in India, these hospitals are giving away our medical records to these companies. These companies with huge, big staffs that patients will end up paying for. So if you're like a poor little person on Medicaid, Medicare like I am, who can't get Medi-Cal to cover your expenses, who has a lump in your breast but can't afford to go to the doctor, if you're like me, just know that Frisia, the executives at Frisia are getting paid your government money to steal your medical records from the hospital. And if you don't sign the contract, they don't have to treat you. Do they? Or do they? You see, it's like Brandon lets us know. They don't let us know exactly what our right to resist is. How do you resist? Can you resist? Can you resist and still get medical care? Is it an invasion of your right to privacy to have these companies sneaking in, having you're in the middle of filling out this electronic document. You don't know that it's going to a third party Frisia. You think it's a part of the hospital records. At least that's what I thought. I thought that the hospital, it didn't say this is an independent agency for profit that's collecting your medical records. And if you go to the Frisia website, you'll see it is not consumer oriented. It tells the hospitals what to do. So I know I said that this would just be a thank you, but I left a lot of loose ends in my broadcast last night, and I just sort of want to make that up to you because we are going to have to resist the remnants of the society that wants to enslave us, that wants to have us working just enough to pay the company's store bill with a little debt, right? Their goal is not to see us thrive. Their goal is for them to thrive. Just like right here in India, there's a community that actually has a lake, and there's only one road leading into that community, and it's on the edge of town. And they have a big lake and homes with little marinas in it, and the rest of this area is dry. And I bet you $20 that if we go over there, everybody living there is European. Okay? And I think that the Europeans themselves don't want to be that guy. I don't think they want to be that guy. But there's good news too. Good news too. I visited Chase Bank today, just visited Chase Bank. And when I looked around, everybody working in Chase Bank, from the number one person that I saw, the highest ranking person that I saw, to the tellers working, everybody in there looked like they lived in India. None of them looked like they came from Europe. Now, maybe in a black office somewhere, like at the Senior Center of India, the front desk looked community. The people in the club, in the senior citizen, looked community. But when the executive director comes out, she's wealthy European. Looks like she spends her time in one of those country club communities in Palm Desert. She doesn't look like she belongs, but she's in charge and she's pulling down the six-figure big bucks. So I was super happy to see that Chase Bank actually was promoting the people in the actual community, the people that actually put their money into the bank, instead of conceding to a European nationalist racist paradigm and configuration of society. So today I got such an outstanding response to my video last night, such an outstanding response from the video last night from actual sources of power, that it made me feel uplifted. Like we're going to get there. We're going to get there. We are going to make it out of the mess we're in. We're going to make it out. We're going to make it out of here. And we are going to find ourselves living in a country that actually cares about us and helps us to enjoy the prosperity all around us. And I hope that the same happens for Africa and Australia and New Zealand and Hawaii and Fiji and every place else where enemies of humanity have set up and said, we're going to kill the natives and take whatever's left. We're going to kill the heirs so that there's no one to claim an inheritance. And then we're going to make papers that say it belongs to us. And then we're going to fight amongst ourselves for it. That mentality is fading away. That reality is going. So I hope that I get, some sleep tonight, so I don't look quite as tired as I do today. And I really see a future where my business will be growing, and where I'll be able to succeed and won't be sabotaged or robbed. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm such an optimist that I've had the feeling that things were going to get better again and again, but I was in that concentration camp for so long that I thought I'd never get out of it. And look at me. Here I am. I'm able to walk the streets in the sunshine, whereas before I could just peek out of my window very carefully because of all the surveillance. It's so hard to believe, isn't it? It's so hard to believe. But I think between the red hats and the white hats and the good ETs, I think the threat is gone. But who knows? Who knows? I'm ever hopeful. And whatever happens, I thank you so much for staying with me. I thank you so much for watching my videos. I thank you so much for stretching your concept of reality to accommodate the reality that I was going through. And I thank you for the direction that you gave me, the ways that you taught me to think about what was happening to me. And I thank you for your love and your good wishes. Thank you so much, everybody.